tell you.
First of all, nice to meet you. My name is Christina Stan.
Hello, Christina.
Good music.
Ah.
It's a side.
Okay.
First of all, since you are a singer, how do you feel Christmas the most? Spiritual, religious, or musical?
That's a good question. Christmas for me, well, musical has to be in there, definitely, because the musical is such a big part of my life. It is 80% of my life is music. So musical, and I think that spiritual is definitely a part as well. So, and religious, I can accept all of the religions and what they their beliefs, and I think Christmas time is just a very special time that can really hopefully make everybody really come together and think, okay, let's stop and think about things, you know, and I think that's an important time as well. I think. Yeah.
What other genre of music do you like?
I like all sorts of music. I listen to anything as long as I can hear that it's good music, that it's not something that's been made very quickly or just with computers, and I can hear that straight away usually. So, yes, I listen to all sorts of rock music. I love rock. I love AC/DC, of course, from my hometown, from Melbourne, most of those guys. And jazz. I'll listen to anything really. Actually, most of the time when I'm at home, I won't listen to classical music. I don't, not very often.
Not at all?
Not at all, but not very often. Opera, I love. I love opera, Italian opera, of course. I've worked for 10 years in an opera company, so yeah, but anything, but not. I don't necessarily put on Mozart or anything at home. Not very often.
What's your opinion about these channels from the internet that promote even classical music?
Oh, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think any way that you can promote classical music is good, because I mean it's not getting out to everybody these days, you know. And I think that's just another avenue, and that's the way it is at the moment. Everybody has a computer. Every student, every child has a computer. They have access to it. I think that's the way it's gone, and I think it's a very, very good way. In fact, that's probably what I would do if I listen to classical. I go on the internet and I have it through my system. I listen to radio, classical radio through my system on the internet.
Easy way.
Yeah, easy. I don't have to go to my CDs and go, what should I put on? I just go bang, done. Look down. Yeah.
Since it's the sixth time you're here in Romania, if it were to receive, let's say, proposal for a donation, would you accept? Let's say just give half of your incomes to a charity program.
Oh,
would
definitely.
You accept?
We do this. Our orchestra actually does every year at least 3 benefit concerts.
That's great.
At least, and there's no money. We're talking benefit.
Yeah.
Not half, nothing. So for children in Bolivia and different projects in Africa, so we do that. Yeah. No, thanks. No, I think that's important. Why not? And that's very important. We should.
So for the next year, maybe if it were to receive such a proposal here from Romanian,
I'm sure. Yeah, I would accept it. Then I have to speak to my management and speak to the colleagues, of course, and see if it all fits in with what we've done during the year. Because what tends to happen is when we've done these other benefit concerts in other parts of Europe, then we get people calling our management all the time, and then we would be doing every day a benefit concert. So we have to be careful. But of course, for Romania, we would definitely, because we have such a strong connection to Romania now, being here 6 years, so it would definitely be possible.
Related to Romanian classical music, what's your favorite composer?
Well, especially being a violinist, I mean, I have to go for Enescu, don't I? Because I think just the works that he wrote for violin, just you can tell he was a violinist, because it really sits very, very well. And a lot of composers you find sometimes, you can when you're playing the piece, you can tell they wrote it by sitting at a piano. This is for the violin, but I should play like this. But you can tell he knows where it all is, and so yeah, I really enjoy the music.
Have you ever played in a concert?
I've done the one in Enescu Symphony once, but I haven't done any of the violin in performances. So I've always. we've often talked about it, and I'm thinking about it. I have to be very careful if I want to do that here because I have such respect for it, and I don't. Yeah, that's something that's
Maybe
in the
for
back
the
of,
next year.
It's in the back of my mind always to do something.
It might be a surprise for the Romanian
It would
public.
definitely be a surprise, but I want to make sure that it is perfect as well and really right because it's to come here and play his music. It has to be. You can't just play it. It's got to be right. So I have to really think about that and prepare it properly. But it's something that's in my plans. Yeah.
Besides the story with the Levi Strauss concert, what's the most unconventional concert that you performed?
Good question. I've played on an aeroplane performance. That was in the aeroplane with a string quartet. That was above an island just near Melbourne called Tasmania. It's another city outside of Australia, at the bottom of Australia. It's an island.
How did it happen?
I was asked for a private dinner, and they were flying. They went up, they took off, and we were in the aeroplane up in the front half of the business class area. So 2 violins, violoncello, and we performed for the guests in an aeroplane. So that was pretty different. And we also did a nice concert a couple of years ago in Sibiu. When they were the cultural capital that year, we played next to the ice skating rink. They had the ice skating they set up there, and we were up behind it, and then we played there, and they did some ice skating. Some wonderful Romanian ice skaters were dancing, skating to our music then. That was something totally different.
Very nice. And a last question, what do you think about this mixing genders of music? Have you ever thought of mixing classical music with some other gender?
Not really. I mean, people have tried that, attempted that. You've heard the hooked on classics and this and this. It depends. It's got to be really well done, because otherwise it takes it away from the classic. Because the classical on its own is so good and what do you say? So not complicated, but there's so much detail in the classical music. And I think you have to be careful.
Enough.
Yeah, exactly. Once you start, if you have to take something out of that and put something else in there, you might be missing. I think with the other genders where you've got less things involved and less instruments, of course, as well. When you're talking about just a 4 or 5 piece band, that's much different. They can change their genders and play through the different genders of music. But it's a possibility. I mean, we've got some great rock musicians in our band. Actually, they have a string quartet, a wonderful string quartet. And they play rock and jazz, and so having them in this music is also very good because it gives a lot of energy. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. And a message for the public of our site?
I would like to say, keep tuning in. The internet is fantastic, and this channel is also great. And I hope to maybe see you in the performance, if not this year, maybe next year, or somewhere in Romania this time. And wish you all a very happy Christmas and a wonderful New Year for 2011.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Nice. Okay. Lunchtime.
No, it's okay.